Dear friends, there was once a man who arrived in a quiet village late in the evening. Now, all the hotels were full because there was a grand local event, and rain had just started. Cold winds had made the streets almost empty. Desperately, he knocked on a small house door. An elderly couple opened the door cautiously, and the man explained his situation. Now, he expected a quick refusal, but instead, the woman said, "Come in, you can stay with us." They offered him dry clothes, a warm meal, and a simple bed near the fireplace. The men tried to refuse politely, but they insisted. That night, they didn't treat him like a stranger, but they treated him like family. Before he left the next morning, the man asked, "Why would you help someone you don't even know?" The old man smiled and said, "Because we've learned something. Kindness is never wasted." Years later, the same traveler returned, not lost this time, but successful. He didn't forget that night, and he didn't come empty handed. He came back to thank the people who once welcomed him with love. Dear friends, in today's first reading from the second book of the Kings, we hear about a woman who welcomes the prophet Elisha into her home. Now, she doesn't know who he fully is, but she offers hospitality anyway. And that simple act of generosity becomes a moment of blessing and transformation of her life. Dear friends, sometimes the greatest blessings begin with a simple welcome. In the second reading from the letter to the Romans, St. Paul reminds us that through baptism we are united with Christ's death and resurrection. That is, the old self dies and a new life begins. Like the couple who welcomed a stranger, they didn't just offer him room, they became part of a story bigger than themselves. And in today's gospel passage, Jesus says, "Whoever receives you receives me." And he also says, "Whoever gives even a cup of cold water will not lose their reward." Jesus says that no act of kindness is small in God's eyes. Even the simplest welcome carries eternal meaning. Dear friends, today we ask ourselves, who is God asking us to welcome? Because sometimes Jesus doesn't arrive with miracles first, he arrives as a stranger at our door.